One of the more popular names, honestly, in the last 2 weeks, I feel like Luigi Suigo, the 7'3" Italian center, has scheduled an official visit for next week. Suigo is set to be in Bloomington next Tuesday, June 17th. He will head to IU following a visit to Purdue on the day before, on that Monday. Now, if you think back to a couple months ago, Luigi visited Illinois. That was kind of his only school of interest at that point. He was on campus. I believe it was on Kofi Coburn's like jersey honoring night. Now everyone's getting involved. Purdue is offering him. Purdue is getting to visit. Some other schools that are in on him: BYU, Kentucky, Louisville, Texas A&M, just to name a few here. Now Luigi is currently playing over in Italy for his professional based club. He played in the Adidas Next Gen tournament, so I think we talked about that tournament a lot on here. A lot of the big prospects who have come over here to play college basketball have played in that tournament, and he had a solid tournament. Nine, almost 10 points a game, 7 rebounds, almost 2 blocks, shot almost 60% from the field, 30% from three. Is a big that he himself considers to be a stretch big, so you would maybe want to see a little bit better than 30% from him. But I guess Dion, I'll throw it to you. What do you take from Coach DeVries getting involved in on this? Because obviously some bigger schools we have seen come into the fold. With Purdue, BYU, Kentucky, Louisville, Texas A&M, those are all schools that have very, very heavy pockets and very heavy presence. What do you take of Indiana's head coach getting involved in this?
I think it's smart. If Matt Painter is recruiting somebody over the size of 7 feet and you're the rival school to Purdue, I think you should just get involved in whoever the person is and just make Matt Painter's life hard.
Mm.
And I mean, ultimately, I don't know if I see him going to Indiana. I'm sure it's going to be some sort of like bag chase, though, right? Like whoever offers the most probably gets him because he is a legitimate. Um, Professional basketball player at the moment. So if he's making money to play basketball already, he's going to want to make as much money as possible. I would assume to come over to the States. Um, but yeah, I just think if I'm DeFries, I'm getting involved in whoever Matt Painter's involved in. So I think this is smart. And also this kid is 7'3", 240. That's a NBA body for the most part. Obviously he's 18, so has some more body formation that he's going to do, but you don't have to bring him in. He doesn't have to gain weight. He doesn't have to lose weight. He probably has to put on a little muscle, but that's something you can work with that's much different than your natural 18-year-old that's coming on campus who has a lot that he has to work on, both nutritionally and in the weight room. Luigi's ahead of the game on that. And at the next gen, obviously, he did shoot the ball poorly, but for Milano and, well, it's Italy Serie D, which, gonna be honest, huge soccer fan. I didn't know the leagues go that low.
Thought they stopped it after B, respectfully.
I really did. I didn't know we went that low, so that's tough. But he did shoot 6 of 17 from three, which 35%. If you're 7'3", 240 and you're shooting 35%, that's the equivalent of Steph Curry shooting 50%.
But right, and like he's an 18-year-old, like you mentioned. Like he's 18. He has some development to do. He's not currently ranked in On3 rankings, but he's considered to be like a four-star prospect, I think, when the rankings actually come out or the rankings make themselves known. And for me, for big picture for Indiana, like obviously Coach DeVries is now there. Is it DeVries or DeVries? We really gotta nail that down.
They said it's de fries essentially, but with a V instead of an F.
DeVries, so DeVries.
Yeah, it is that or it isn't. Well, I guess that's only two options. But I've been saying it like that, and I can't remember if I was right or wrong. So I guess we'll find out when this video gets
Yeah,
posted.
honestly, can someone let us know down below the correct pronunciation on that? Because we will make it known moving forward. But
This video is brought to you by NBA 2KLab.com. 2K Lab worked with us last summer as well. They're one of our favorite entities in all of sports gaming. We want to show you their college basketball stadium locator challenge game. And I'm going to share a screen right now as we do this. South Carolina, bang. Oh,
ooh,
okay, that's pretty good. Next, North Carolina. Why are we only getting the Carolinas?
please
Bang.
lock in.
St. John's, that's New
New
York.
York. Well,
Bang.
that's New Jersey.
We're on fire. Colorado. I actually don't know what state Colorado is.
It's in Colorado. There's a state of
Is that
Colorado.
this one?
It's to the right of Phoenix.
anyway, you get the picture. This game's really fun. They've got more games as well, like Guess the NBA Player, Mystery Fantasy Draft, and more. Stay tuned for all of the college football content and games that they'll be putting together to help you get the best experience out of college football 26. Back to the video.
In all seriousness, for me, I thought he did a good job of he had to replace so much on the roster, right? And he had to do it through the transfer portal, and that's all good and well. But, kind of looking back to what Indiana has been the past couple years, they have just missed out on top recruits, right? Like Braylon Mullen said no, Malachi Moreno said no. They did get Trent Sisley, but he was like a fringe 100 guy. Like that's a good pickup. But I think that Indiana wants to be in a spot where they are competing for elite talent, right? Like 5 stars, high 4 stars. Like they want to be able to be one of the top recruiting classes, I think, given, who they are as a school and also the financial backing that they can give these players. So, to your point, they need to be in on anyone that Purdue wants. Like that's just honestly, that's how the whole country should operate. If Matt Painter's offering a 7-footer, just assume that 7-footer is good and go ahead and get on him. But I think Indiana moving forward, one, they want to win these recruitments, but they need to be in on them. And I feel like Woodson and his staff, like they did some things, but they weren't really truly like winning any of these recruitments. And I think that, Coach D has been able to put together a staff that has recruiting chops. Him himself will have the financial backing, I think, if he needs it. They need to win these type of recruitments, I think, moving forward if like Indiana basketball wants to get back to where their fans think they belong, right?
Yeah, and specifically like with some of the other names that Purdue's in on at the center position, right? And you also have Daniel Jacobson, who looks like I'll be honest, Daniel Jacobson looks like a beast in that practice footage that came out. He looks like a monster. So Purdue has a lot of centers already in the fold. They're trying to bring more in. And you also have Oscar Clough. If you're Indiana, this feels like a must win because if it does come down to Purdue and Indiana, that is. Like I feel like Louisville is going to play a massive role in this recruitment, specifically financially. Everyone knows I'm a big Kentucky Reddit and Spaces guy. I'm a wildcat at the end of the day, and I think Kentucky's going to play a role in this too, as is BYU, right? Like we're talking about like 3 bag schools for the most part. So I think it's far from done. But if he does choose between Purdue and Indiana, this feels like a must-win for an Indiana program that doesn't really have like a ton of answers at the center position
Mhm.
versus a Purdue school that has 2 answers on the roster. They're going after a 5-star in Luigi's class. And then they also have Lauren Betts' brother, Dylan, who they're like going after too, right? Like that's a lot of centers that are in like possibilities for Purdue. This feels like a must win for an Indiana team that I just don't really feel like has that same type of roster depth at that position.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Obviously, Illinois was in on him early, and they were kind of the founders. I feel like, at least in my eyes, of Luigi. But now everyone else is getting involved. Like I said, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out after these visits. Also, kind of funny to me that he's going on a Monday visit to Purdue and then a Tuesday visit to Bloomington. Need to see what's going on Tuesdays in Bloomington and Mondays in at Purdue. But like, where are the vibes for my dog Luigi? Why are we getting weekday visits?
Because I'm gonna be honest, it means he's going to Louisville on Friday.
I, honestly, that could be true. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Obviously, a lot of these schools have, I think, the financial backing that he will want, like you mentioned, and also like I think one of the things to watch will be, and one thing that might work out well for Illinois is that you want to see what these schools do with their international prospects. Like Louisville has Sonata Frew coming over this year. I'm sure that Luigi will be watching that. He looks to Illinois, Big T, Kasparis had success. BYU had Yegor over, they had success. So, I mean, even Kentucky with Yelovich this year, you want to see possibly what he looks like. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. We will be tuned into him, obviously, because honestly, the last 2 weeks it feels like all I get is Luigi Suigo updates from our good people over at On3. So we'll have all those updates and talk on those on the channel as always.